Hello students, today we are going to learn about salts, how it is formed and what is the pH of the salt. So first of all, what is salt? We have generally we are using this salt word in our kitchen, right? The common salt, but that is not the only salt we are using in our life. There are various kinds of salt, okay? And how do it form? Salt are nothing but the product, the substance which are formed by acid and base. Okay, we know the reaction between acid and base. When acid and base react with each other, they forms salt. And this process is called neutralization process. Why it is called neutralization process? Because when acidic nature solution and basic nature solution mix with each other, they are giving the result, the product is having not having acidic nature or not having basic nature. So we are saying that they nullify each other effect and making a neutral solution which is not acidic and not basic. So anything, whenever acid and base react, they forms salt. Okay. So the substance produced by the reaction of acid and base is called salt. Any salt can be formed by acid. It is only and only formed by acid and base only. And this acid and base. Okay. So whenever they react with each other, acid and base, they form salt. And okay, so we can take any acid and any base. Okay, there are various kinds of acid and various kinds of base. So any acid out of many and any base can react and making a salt. Okay, so for there can be various combinations possible, right? One acid with base and that acid with another base, that acid with another base. Okay, so any combination of acid and base makes salt, and that makes a various salt. Okay, this salt, when this acid and base react with each other, the salt produced is generally ionic compound. Okay, so it has positive ion and negative ion in its molecule. So salts have positive and negative ion. Some of the examples of salt is the most common, and when we think about salt, the first name come to our mind is NaCl, sodium chloride. Can you guess by which acid and base it is formed? Yes, we can guess. We can assume, we can guess that NaCl, that means it will form, it must be formed from NaOH, that is base, and Cl coming from HCl acid. So by knowing the salt, chemical formula of the salt, we can predict from which acid and base it is formed. Right? So NaCl is obviously made from NaOH and HCl. Another example of salt is Na2SO4. You can predict it. It can be formed from sodium. Sodium, it will means which base? NaOH base, and SO4, that means H2SO4 acid, sulfuric acid. Okay, so Na2SO, when they mixed, they make Na2SO4 acid, salt. Sorry. Then calcium carbonate, it is a salt. Na2CO3, sodium carbonate, salt. NaHCO3, sodium hydrogen carbonate, or we can say sodium bicarbonate, a salt. Then magnesium sulfate, MgSO4, salt. MgCO3, so various kinds of salt is available. Okay. Now, this salts, what is the pH of this salt? According to the neutralization process, a definition of neutralization process, the salt is formed from acid and base, right? So acid and basic nature neutralize each other and making a neutral solution, neutral. So salt is having a neutral nature. That means its pH will be 7. For neutral, we have 7 pH. Okay, below 7 it will be acid, more than 7 it will be basic solution. But neutral substance have pH 7. So salt is having 7 pH? Not necessarily. See, salts are formed from acid and base. So acid and base, okay, so and there are two types of acid and base. strong acid and weak acid, strong base and weak base. So when this strong and weak acid and base react with each other, what we are getting as a salt, that is shown here. So pH of the salt is not always 7, right? When it will be 7, let us see. Let us say for the strong acid, when strong acid mixed with strong base, it will give a neutral salt. Okay, both are strong. What we can say, the dominant will be in the product. But if both are equally dominant, both are strong here. Okay, and we know what is strong acid and strong base, right? Remember that. So when both the acid and base are strong in nature, then they clearly nullify each other's effect and making a neutral salt and water. The example of it, see, commonly there are three main strong acids are there. HCl, hydrochloric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, and HNO3, that is nitric acid. These are the three strong acids. And other acetic acid, other organic acids, carbonic acid, phosphonic acid, they other are the weak acids. So mainly three strong acids, HCl, H2SO4 and HNO3. So this strong acid HCl react with strong base. What we can say, NaOH, KOH, they all MgO, magnesium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, they are the strong base. Okay? And ammonia is a weak base. So ammonium solution. So HCl react with NaOH, both are strong. So the result will be the salt and water, but this salt will be neutral in nature. So NaCl and water. So this NaCl is neutral. So the pH of the this neutral solution will be 7. Instead of that, if strong acid react with weak base, so acid is strong and base is weak. So obviously the dominant dominant effect will be seen in the product. So strong acid, so obviously the product will be having acidic nature because acid is strong here. And so strong acid, I am taking HCl, and weak base NH4OH. Okay, so ammonia when added in water, they makes the solution, and that solution will be NH4OH. So NH4OH solution, weak base and HCl will react with each other, forming NH4Cl, that is ammonium chloride, and OH and H will form H2O. So this salt, NH4OH, NH4Cl, so ammonium chloride, is not neutral in nature. Okay, what will be the nature of this salt? This salt will be acidic salt because it is formed from strong acid and weak base. So strongness of acidic nature will be seen in the product. Next, weak acid and strong base. Okay, if weak acid react with strong base, so which effect will be seen? Strong basic effect will be seen. So the product will be basic salt and water. Weak acid, acetic acid I am taking CH3COOH. This is the acetic acid which is also commonly known as vinegar. So this acetic acid CH3COOH react with strong base, that is NaOH. So exchange of ion, this all are the double displacement reaction. Okay, so CH3COOH, H from this CH3COOH will be removed, that H will react with OH, and this Na will replace H. So the product will be CH3COONA. The name of this is sodium acetate. Okay, here sodium will be plus, which is written on right side. So sodium acetate is the name of this substance, basic salt and H2O water. So the nature of this salt will be basic. And if weak acid and weak base are reacting with each other, so both are weak, so they nullify each other's effect and making a neutral salt. Okay. So if weak acid and weak base will react with each other, they form the neutral salt and water. I am taking the example H2CO3, that is the carbonic acid, which is a weak acid. OH, ammonium hydroxide, which is a weak base. making NH4 will replace hydrogen here. So making NH4 twice CO3 NH2. See the number 2 and all this depends on the valency. Okay, chemical formula is decided by the valency of the ions or elements, and this we have already learned in standard math. So ammonium NH4 twice CO3. Ammonium NH4 have plus 1 valency and CO3 has minus 2 valency. So that makes this formula NH4 twice CO3 plus water. This is ammonium carbonate. This salt is having neutral nature. So what we can conclude from this? If neutral salt is there, the pH of the salt will be 7. If acidic salt is there, for acidic, what is the pH? Less than 0 to 7 is for acidic nature. So the pH will be less than 7. And if the salt is basic, for basic salt, the pH is greater than 7. The value of pH will be greater than 7. So any salt, by seeing the chemical formula of that salt, we can predict that from which acid and base it would be formed. Right? Like, okay, if directly it will be given that ammonium carbonate, what would be the acid and base? Okay, so ammonium will be ammonium hydroxide and carbonate will be obviously carbonic acid. So by knowing the positive and negative ion in the chemical formula of the salt, we can predict that from which uh, acid and base it would be formed. But remember, salt is always formed from acid and base. Okay? So this is the main idea of salt and its pH. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, and if you further, we will learn about some common salt used in our everyday life, its uses and its preparation, etc. If you have any doubt related to this topic, you can ask me. Thank you.